In this problem, we're given a function f of x equals 3x plus 6, and we're asked to evaluate f inverse of negative 6. So to remind you the relationship between a function f and its inverse, f inverse, as long as the original function f is 1 to 1, which this one certainly is, it means that the input into f becomes the output of f inverse, and also the output of f would be the same as the input into f inverse. So notice what's in the parentheses here. A is out here, meaning the input of f becomes the output of f inverse. And notice the output of f becomes the input into f inverse. So one way to evaluate f inverse of negative 6 is to simply translate the question in terms of the given information, f. So that would look like this. We know that f inverse of negative 6 is equal to some number that we're trying to find, so I just put a question mark there. So because the inputs and outputs just get switched, in fact, to go from this notation to that notation, I need only take the input and the output, a and b, and swap them. And then I would have a true statement for f inverse, again, as long as f is 1 to 1. So here is the given question, to find f inverse of negative 6. So to translate that in terms of f, I'll get rid of the little minus 1, and I will swap the input and the output. So in terms of f, we don't know what the input is, but we know that we want the output to be negative 6. So to solve that, we have to put negative 6 in as a output. So with function notation, x is the input, and f of x, that whole set of notation, is the output. So when I replace the output with negative 6, what I get is an equation. In fact, it would look like this. This would be a negative 6, and I'd have to set that equal to 3x plus 6, and there it is. We're trying to find the input x, right? Find the input x, so that the output becomes negative 6. So now all I have to do is subtract the 6 on both sides. This would be negative 12. Subtracting 6 on this side would be 0, so I don't need to write it. And then if I divide the 3 over, remember the 3 is being multiplied, if I divide the 3 over, negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. So if you want, and that's the answer, you could show you that if I was to put negative 4 back into this statement, what that means is that f of negative 4 is negative 6. You could do that. You could plug negative 4 and work out the math. You'd see that you get out negative 6. But this is equivalent to the statement f inverse. So if I replace f with f inverse, that means I swap these two numbers around. So the negative 6 would be in here, and the negative 4 would be out there. So just showing you that we did answer the question. F inverse of negative 6 is indeed negative 4.